Hi, and this is Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com, Witnessing the World. This presentation is all about experience. What are you experiencing just now in your life? Before you stopped time to watch this presentation, what was happening for you? What created this moment that enabled you to sit down, stop what you're doing, turn your device on, and then what made you come and tune into this? And then what's going to happen after, when you decide that this is interesting or not, watch it to the end or not, go to watch something else, or just switch your device off and carry on with your day? What's going to create those decisions? And then as you go through the day, what are you going to do? Are you in a routine because of work, because of family commitments, business, goals that you've got to do today, jobs that you've got to do today, people that you've got to see? This is life, isn't it? This is your life experience. And it's guided mainly by the system. And we're all in a system. Even if, for me, I'm now retired, choosing more than being told what I can have, be and do. Nevertheless, I'm still very much in a system, because we live our lives by goals, jobs, commitments. If we were truly free, even that freedom would become systematic. So the question is, what do you choose and what's imposed upon you? Currently, I'm revisiting a lot of the stuff that gave me the mindset that I believe to be my belief system now. I'm going back to my mentors in the time that I've got in Thailand before I launch my new website, which is actually out there, but it's not complete yet. The Mr. Mike Garner website, which used to be HTTP, which is now HTTPS. And I don't really know what that means, but I know that the website is more interactive. There's products on there. It's got a complete management system, which is beyond me. I've got a super guy called Jimmy Deans in Germany that I met when I was over there working with the army. And he keeps my website current, up and running, sorts out all the glitches for me. But in reinventing that website, I'm almost reinventing myself. I'm trying to get out of rut and routine and system and free myself to be the updated 2019, preparing to go into 2020 version of me. And I'm doing that in life and business, making new choices which will give me new experiences. And all the time you've got to realise that you are the experiencer, the witness. And I've said many times that life is all about what you do in response to what comes at you. People come at you. Challenges come at you. And it's what you do with it. how you respond. Your life is in your response to experiences. You have an inner world, your thought life. And if you're locked into the system of responses, in other words, I've always been angry, I've always been argumentative, or I've always been passive, I've never stood up for myself, I've always been easily embarrassed, I'm shy, I'm this, I'm that, then you're limiting yourself, because you don't have to always be anything. You can change. And if you change the way you are, you'll change the way that you experience your life, your day, moment to moment. And you can update your files. Most of your decisions are based on memories of what you decided in the past. You go to a restaurant and you look and you choose what you always chose. Lots of things at the takeaway. And you always have what is always safe to have, what you know you like. Very rarely do we change out of that comfort zone, out of that system of choices. And because going into next decade, 2020, it's now currently middle of November 2019, but whenever you're watching this presentation, it's relevant, because the past doesn't have to equal the future. If you get locked into a system of always doing what you've always done on repeat, you'll always get what you're currently getting. If you want to get something different, you've got to do something different, and that comes with making different choices and having different thoughts and updating your files, trying new things, taking risks, getting out of your comfort zone, shifting. Now, there's several elements to life. There's the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, the energetic. But I'm a huge believer that we're not only influenced by what comes at us physically, what we can see, and what comes at us in our minds, our perception, but we're also, in my opinion, and it's a big conversation piece and quite controversial, but we are also psychically challenged. Some people might call it psychically attacked, but I think if you think that you're psychically attacked, that's a bit of victim. I think that as human beings, personal power, which is something that I work on daily to maintain my energy, my power, my focus, my radiation, by protecting my absorption. If I'm protected, then I'm not psychically challenged by other vibrational beings and entities. This is where it gets a bit woo-woo. In the ether, in thin air. I do believe and can prove, to my satisfaction, maybe not yours, academically and practically and esoterically and metaphysically, that there are things that we can't see that are as real as the things that we can see. And actually the things that we can see, it's an illusion that we see in them, it's just a perception, because we live in a projected reality. Now that's massive, and that's woo-woo as well. But you've got to witness the effects of environments, vibration, vibes, atmospheres. You've got to get into more empathic, kinesthetic, sensory awareness of how you feel at the heart. The heart knows, the head thinks, the mind thinks, but the heart knows. We are feeling empathic, sensory, emotional beings. And we justify everything with logic, and very often we get it wrong because we justify it with logic, running files of mind called memes, which basically repeat what you've always said because you're accessing the same files. When you open yourself up and become open-minded, which is rare, because people have what I call rigor mortis of the attitudes, which means they're rigid in the thinking and they're not flexible. They think they're right. When you think you're right, your experience stops. Because you've already decided, I like this food, I don't like this food, I like this person, I don't like this person, I like this situation, I'm like this, I've always been like this. As we move into 2020, into the next decade, or whenever you're watching this, you can change, you can shift. You don't have to have rigor mortis of the attitudes, you don't have to have rigid, narrow thinking, closed-mindedness. You can be open-minded. You can be anything that you imagine that you can be. And when you're powerful and you have a vibrant, bright flame within you, burning strong, you can vanquish, delete, extinguish all negativity. And anybody else that's vibrating around you in your space, in front of your face, won't have the power to blow out your candle, blow out your flame, or overwhelm you with their personality, their negative charisma, or even their positive charisma. You won't be easily persuaded. You'll be strong-minded, open-minded, and you'll stick up for yourself. And then you can be lovely. Because if you're not frightened by people and controlled by people, you don't feel vulnerable. Therefore, you can be nice. A lot of people are aggressive and argumentative to defend themselves, and when you're not scared, there's nothing to defend. I learnt to fight back in 1981 because I was bullied at school. I got my black belt in 1985, and I realised that I didn't want to fight because I could fight. And real fighters, real character, comes from not having to become aggressive. In fact, I was taught that if I ended up raising my fists or fighting, I'd lost anyway. You don't find lions proving that they are king of the jungle. They just are, and everybody knows it. They just emanate power and grace and courage and ferocity, but they have beauty there. So break the mold. If you're watching this in the now, as we're getting into 2020, a new decade, break the mold. Challenge yourself to be new so that you can have new mindsets. Be sensitive. Think about how you feel more than what you know. Because if you ask yourself what's important, how you feel or what you know, it's how you feel, isn't it? You can know loads, but if you feel crap, that's not good. You want to feel brilliant, powerful, loved, lovable, proud, graceful, beautiful. Knowing something won't necessarily give you that, but you want to feel it. Happy, peaceful, peace of mind, happiness, healthy. So break the mold, and when you break the mold of who you think you are and become who you're capable of being, then you'll start to have new experiences day by day, in the moment, choosing new things, experimenting. We're only here for a short period of time. The Bible says 70 years and 10. If that's true, I've got 8 years left. I intend to be here a lot more than the next 8 years. Doing new things, experiencing new things, challenging myself, meeting new people, sharing, caring, being challenged, and never stopping learning and growing, transcending and transforming. not getting locked into any system, being free and unlimited. And then whether or not my challenges come from this dimension or any other dimension that I've talked about, and I'm prepared to talk to you about that if you're interested. Metaphysical, spiritual, then nothing can stop you living a wonderful, fulfilling life until the end of my life. I go to my grave having completed my mission as best as I can, honouring my incarnation, creating a legacy for myself, being a legend in my own lifetime, and sharing that with you guys, my family and all my loved ones, and even the people who don't love me. So be powerful, enjoy your mind, and if I can help you transform and shift, becoming flexible and powerful and unlimited, which is your birthright, so that you experience a wonderful 2010 as we move into the next decade, you know where I am. You can contact me on any of the contact details where you're viewing this presentation, and there's lots more from me to come, so keep checking back. Love you all. Bye for now.